Yet another tragedy has come upon us, guys. Yes, it's a tragedy because the developers again bent to the knee, made a game to try to use certain elements, as we all know, to attract the modern audience, and unfortunately this may be the end of the studio. And what I want to talk about, I'm talking about this game, Echoes of the End. And yes, the game has an echo of the end of the studio, because after release only 217 people are still playing it after a couple of days, and the all-time peak for this game, which is a AA game by the way, is only 558 people. Guys, this is a problem. This is a massive problem and by the way, the publisher is Deep Silver. So Deep Silver is a company which, by the way, has enough resources to promote, to marketing, you know, promote their games effectively to the audience, right? So this is a problem. And again, one more time, this is what happens when you don't know, you don't understand who you're making games for, and you are trying to, I would say, play the modern audience card because you thought that that's going to give you more sales. And then what happens? People switch off. Now, let me just be clear 100%. The game did not fail purely because of the way they're introducing certain agenda elements, like the main issue is they insert the typical main protagonist, like the angry female character, sometimes brown, sometimes black, sometimes different diversity of their background, effectively, right? That's not the main issue. The main issue here is that gamers are fatigued with this kind of approach. So when you show this, like when you show the trailers and all these things, and the gameplay trailers, you see this character, like the badass female character, she's like behaving like a man in certain instances, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm so cool, I'm so powerful. Thing is that this is the following problem. Gamers completely disengage. Gamers disengage with this sort of thing because they're fatigued, they're tired. So that's the thing. Players just switch off. They just switch off automatically and they don't care. And that's the thing. They just forget this game even exists. And this is proven by the fact that literally almost nobody, like 217 people in the whole world are playing this game. That's crazy if you think about it, right? And it's an action adventure game. I saw like the combat is pretty decent. People are saying in the reviews that it has some bugs, and sometimes like the tracking system and whatever is not the greatest thing ever, but the combat is kind of decent. It's not the worst, right? But the problem is that people have completely switched off to this game from the moment they saw the trailers, and that's the problem. Look, this is one of the interesting comments here, which again, it shows how people feel. This is really important. Forspoken again. Western studios never tire of forcing their ideological agenda on you, and that's the problem, guys. Also, the biggest problem is the gameplay. The combat lacks impact and consistently slow motion. It gets really boring after a few minutes, and the atrocious animations, really no details, generic, and the VFX, everything is blurry and purple, and you have a recipe for disaster. The optimization and the performance is also very lacking. Yeah, crazy stuff. If this game came out in 2014, it would have been okay, but after The Witcher 3 and 10 years later, it feels unserious. The number of bugs, the combat mechanics, everything just feels kind of pathetic. Yeah, so that's kind of the problem, guys. Let's see some of the more reviews, because we have to get into a deep meat here, because this is concerning. Like literally, like Western studios are bleeding out. And they don't know why, because they don't understand the gamer fatigue. And couple that with bad combat and some glitches, and you have an absolute disaster. I really don't know what to make of this game. I think it looks great and the story setting seems intriguing, but it just plays so weirdly. The dialogues feel awkward, the animations look stiff and sometimes feel a bit motionless, and there are other things that feel a bit off that I can't really describe. adding to all of this, the performance feels underwhelming. And there are stutters during fights, and just walking around, the completely turn the camera in a different direction. I think I will keep playing and see where it's going, but hopefully some of the issues in this game has will be fixed or improved. Don't understand the character choices. It's supposed to take place in Iceland based on an Icelandic lore. Well, sorry, but the modern audience doesn't let you do that. But the main character is a black, angry, girl boss with an American accent. Yeah. Do you see the problem? Do you see the gamer fatigue? I have no problems with playing as a black woman in a game, but this makes absolutely no sense. Her accent and her brother's accent and the way they speak is way too modern. And once again, I must emphasize, it takes place in what is basically Iceland, but they have American accents. The game is beautiful, I'll give you that, but it's also insanely buggy. It stutters more than Star Citizen, operating on 8 GB of RAM. The main character's attitude and all decisions with this made me refund this game after about an hour. Also, combat feels like it belongs on mobile. Again, the main character's attitude. So basically we have Forspoken and the Dragon Age the Veilguard mashed in together once more. That's the problem. Again, it is what it is, because developers don't understand a very simple concept, and the fact that gamers are freaking tired of the same tropes that they have been given and fed over the last 5 or 6 years. Now, this game, of course, has been in development for a number of years. I believe the development of this game started around in 2019 or 2020, potentially. I may be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But the game has been in development for a number of years. Now, what happened between 2020 and 2024? Well, it was the massive DEI injection loans after the pandemic, and then many companies got these loans to make video games, and of course they had to make games which included certain agendas, pushing certain narratives, pushing certain character tropes because of the modern audience. The problem is that after this is what happens, right? You stun your classic audience with this sort of like same tropes, boring main character which behaves the same as Forspoken, for example. So you basically off-put your main audience with this. And then guess what? The modern audience also doesn't show up. So now you have two problems. You have the first problem, which is the fact that your main audience is now completely ignoring you because they just forgot you exist from the first trailers, because they were like, oh yeah, generic main protagonist, she behaves in a very American way, bad attitude, like I've seen this before in Forspoken, I'm just going to pretend this game does not exist anymore. And that's what happened, because the numbers don't lie. It's pretty damn obvious, right? And then the other part, the modern audience, which say that this is what gaming is all about in 2025, well, they didn't show up. They literally did not show up. They literally did not come to support the game. They did not buy the game. So my question is, who is this game for? Let me give you just a small comparison. Like this new game, which by the way is called Whispers from the Stars, for example. This game, which is a pretty much like AI conversation game, has more players and a better score than the other game. And look at this one. This one, of course, what's the difference? Well, I'll tell you what's the difference. It's very simple. It has an interesting, attractive main character. That literally is the main difference. And that's just with that, you have more people playing this game. I mean, that's just ridiculous, right? Who would have thought, right? Even the all-time peak almost doubles echoes of the end, because that game is reaching its end, which is just crazy, right? But yeah, I mean, I just don't understand, like, why are these people not realizing, like, you know, even Dino Dystopia, like, literally 1,000 players, like, I just don't get it, man. Like, these people don't understand. Even Dungeon Stalkers, I mean, this one is free to play, of course, so it has more people, but yeah, I don't know what is going through their head. Why are they even the Bazaar, like this kind of like roguelike card game or something, 7,000 people, which just released Like, it's just crazy. It's just insanely crazy where we're getting. We're getting to a point where these developers, they literally have no idea how to make a game anymore, or at least Western developers, because they have been so brainwashed that is just insane. I mean, look at Arcane Studios. Arcane Studios, for example, are now boycotting Microsoft because allegedly their software is supporting Israel. So, like, wait a second, but you people are like game developers. Like, your job is to make games. Your job is not to be activists, right? And that's the problem. This is full of activists. Like, that's the main issue. And until they get rid of the activists, of the people who are promoting these movements, you will never be successful. Unfortunately, that's the problem. So yeah, I don't know what to say. I just literally don't know what to say. Like, it's sad and it's disappointing. And again, it is pathetic that gaming companies don't realize that this does not sell. This does not make you profit. And again, it's not me saying it. It's not me trying to convince you. It is literally like in your face. Like, it's just in your face. Like, I didn't even have to try to convince you. I mean, look at this, man. I mean, look at this. Like, in a couple of days, there's actually going to be less than 100 people playing the game. In a couple of days, maybe a week time from now, there will be less than 100 people playing this game. And that's a tragedy. Again, once more, because this company, Myrkur Games, which of course I believe they have the best intentions and whatnot. Yes, of course. The problem is that they got fed lies once more. They were told that to sell their game and to be able to be successful, they have to make sure that the game caters for the modern audience. I'm pretty sure that they had consultants, most likely, and they said, well, yeah, it's based in Iceland, but, for inclusivity, you have to put a black person in the game, because otherwise, like, you're not inclusive enough, and, you need to make sure you're catering for the diversity of the society and whatever. I am pretty sure 100% these people had some sort of a consultancy, and at some point during the consultancy, it was brought up that yes, the main character has to be black or brown, because otherwise it will not sell for the modern audience. Well, guess what? It did not sell anyway, and we are seeing the result, which is absolutely shocking. So yeah, guys, that's it for today's video on this one. Again, once more, remember, this is really important as a game developer. As a game developer, guys, this is really important. Do not get fed the lies of gaming consultants. Gaming consultants are not your friends. Gaming consultants only want your money. They do not want you to be successful. They don't care about your success. They just care about you literally giving them money to give you advice on how to be respectful to the modern audience, to the inclusivity of diversity. And after that, you will flop. And again, it's not me saying this, it's just the truth. I mean, this is history. Like, this is history in the making, guys. It's shocking. But this is what happens when you don't understand one very basic thing. When you present your game like this, the majority of gamers have already switched off. Like, they don't care anymore. Like, they just pretend your game does not exist. So no amount of promotion will make them interested in your game anymore, because they already said, we don't care about this game because it looks like it's same as Forspoken. It just copy and paste the same main character, the same annoying characteristic, the same annoying personality. And when you have games like Stellar Blade, right? Of course, people are gonna be like, why would I play this game when I can play Stellar Blade? It's just, again, it's as simple as that. So guys, that's it for today's video. As always, I shall see you later in the next videos. Bye.